It's been a fantastic journey on the series. We've been doing a series, Am I on the Right Ship? Okay, and we try to differentiate the number of ships. Someone says, I want happiness for Christmas. We're sending you all the happiness and all the joy you need this Christmas. It's yours. Receive it and enjoy it. Okay, so what ship am I on? Am I on the right ship? We try to separate them with the situationship, complication-ship, relationship, and then companionship. And then, of course, there are the shipless guys, all right? Just shipping is in the future, okay? It's also beautiful. There's no trouble there. Okay, so, and then we started explaining from there. We said that, it's a situationship when it's not defined. I just hit it straight on. We said it's a complication-ship when it's no longer working. You want out, but it seems you can't find the way out and you really want something else. Okay, we said relationship, of course, is the one that is clearly defined, is headed towards a purpose and both parties are aware. And then companionship, of course, is when you are now married to that partner of yours. Okay, a lot of people need to know that when you get married, you get into another phase of the relationship with that person. Okay, but we'll get into core marriage conversations as we continue down these conversations we do every Wednesday. Okay, and then we moved on to say, man, you have to call it what it is, so don't assume. Okay, call it what it is. If it's not making sense, tell yourself it's not making sense, and then look for the way out. Okay, you have to help yourself. You have to tell yourself the truth all the time. Well, last week we went further to speak about how to identify the right partner, but then we said that we're not just going to turn the searchlight on the other party, but we are going to put the searchlight first on ourselves. And that is because we are the more important factor, we are the more important factor in the relationship. It is you. It's you first, because if you don't know you, then you won't even know what you're looking for. So it's very important that we identify you first. It is when you know exactly who you are, or you have an idea of who you are, that it will be easier to identify the person that fits that path. Okay, the challenge many times is that people jump in thinking of the other person, thinking of what they will get from the other person, thinking that the other person should be this, should be that, should be all of these. Okay, and we ask the question, can you date yourself? Are you the kind of person that you would want to refer to a dear friend of yours to date? Okay, so while you are thinking the other party should be all of this, the question which we handled last week was, who are you? Have you identified yourself? Okay, and that is very key. Okay, someone says it's your first time. Oh, you're so welcome. We're glad to have you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so we spoke a lot on this last week. I wish there was time to go back, but for now this is just the recap I can do. Okay, well, a summary of points. Okay, about 5 things we tried to emphasize. One was that a successful relationship with other people begins first with a good relationship with yourself. Okay? In other words, you are not going to be seeking validation or endorsement from any third party. You need to be comfortable in your own skin. You need to be in love with yourself. You need to have an understanding of yourself first. Okay? So, successful relationships with others begin first with a successful relationship with yourself. We also established last week that it is wholesome people who build wholesome marriages. There are a lot of people who are hoping that their lives will get better when they meet that partner, that they will be able to sort out all their complicated issues and all the confusions and lack of joy and direction in their life when they meet that partner. If you are thinking like that, please, you have to rethink. You need to destroy that thinking and get a new set of thinking. Okay, it is not any other person who's going to give you joy in this life. You need to find those things first for yourself. It is wholesome people that build wholesome relationships, that build wholesome homes. Okay, and we said that if you feel like there are still critical emotional issues you want to handle personally, feel free to do that before contemplating the next relationship. Okay, I know a number of people who feel like they must be in a relationship at every point in their lives. So they get out of a heartbreak today, tomorrow they're sniffing around for the next available relationship. You don't do that. Okay, the first relationship does not work. You're already relationship hunting the next minute. You just can't sit by yourself. Okay, I hope I will have time to really do some good work on this particular thing, as we continue in these conversations. Okay, and then the third point we asked, which I've also mentioned before, is can you marry yourself the way you are now, that you're expecting Mr. or Mrs. Alright? Can you marry yourself? Can you recommend you? Are you alright? Okay, we use the example of a company, a blue chip perhaps, that everyone wants to work in. And while you are trying to get in there, they too have their conditions of the kind of people they want in there. So do you fit their conditions? Very pertinent questions. Okay, it's one thing to want to get there. The other thing is, do they want you? Okay, and then we also said that selecting a life partner, the fourth point was that selecting a life partner becomes easy when you know who you are. And why is that the case? Just like the analogy I was given with the company, where they put out a vacancy and thousands of people apply. What do? They start shortlisting. They start eliminating all those who are not eligible for the position. Okay, why are they able to do that? Because they already have criteria. There are indices they are looking out for. Okay, so if you don't know what indices you're looking out for, you're going to accept the toasting, if I may say, and the proposal from any Tom, Dick, and Harry. But you need to know, and then you, the guy, you're just going to be attracted to anything that looks beautiful, because you don't know what exactly you want, or you have pegged your expectations on things that are temporary, or things that don't really matter. Okay, so it is when you have a clear definition and understanding of who you are and where you're going, that you will be able to eliminate all those who don't fit in that direction. They may be beautiful, lovely, so desirable, but for your future, they don't fit in. Have the confidence to walk away. Have the confidence to not even get your heart deeply involved in things like that. Like I said in two of the classes below, I said below earlier, somebody's comment just confused me. You can recommend you. Okay, that's good. Okay, so like I said in some of the classes earlier, okay, basically knowing you is what helps you know whether or not those people can fit in the direction you're going. Okay, and the fifth point we tried to establish was that you need to be able to identify people for the roles they play. Not everybody is a marriage person or candidate. Not every person is a relationship candidate. Some people are friends in your life. You should be able to be friends with people without any other strings attached, just genuine friends. You should be able to be friends with people without looking out for sex, without any form of sexual inducement or gratification. Okay, so that is very, 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 very key. All right, identify the relationships for what they are. They used to say that if somebody helps you to do something, it's thank you that they tell the person. You don't reward anybody with relationship. Say he has been so kind to me, therefore let us date. Or you say, oh, she's very nice to me, therefore I have to date her. No. If somebody helps you, tell the person thank you and move on. Okay, well, so much for that. So let's jump into what we're talking about today. Now, don't you forget that the Single and Ready Club, what we are really about is to uphold the family institution. We want to inspire people and deliberately train people to know that relationships can be meaningful and marriage can be blissful. You can have a blissful home, irrespective of what you have seen around you, irrespective of what you have heard around you. You can have a blissful home. It's possible. People are enjoying their marriages, okay, and you too can enjoy yours. Okay, so enough of the point we treated last week on know yourself. I just feel the need to emphasize this one more time. Okay, you are greater than you look. You are greater than you think. You are not your failures. You are not your bad experiences. You are not your limitations. You are not your weaknesses. You are not all those terrible things people describe you as. You are not. You are beautifully and wonderfully made. You have the image, and you're created in the image and the likeness of God. And if you're a Christian, the Spirit of the Almighty God lives in you. You are more valuable than you think. I just want to emphasize that for somebody who's listening and who's watching this. I believe that word is for you. All right, so the first point which we treated last week was know yourself first. Now we're going to expand it in identifying, we're going to share other points that will help you identify the kind of people that are right. Okay, take note, I said the kind of people. Okay, there are certain categories of persons, there are certain qualities people we have that they stand a better chance to be considered. Okay, so first I said know yourself, and then second I said be objective. Okay, by being objective I mean look beyond everything physical, look beyond everything external. Okay, now this is where a lot of people get it wrong, because you are attracted to that beautiful lady, that handsome dude, that well-dressed guy, well-poised, you just see the carriage, you see the swag, you see the gait, and you're like, whoa, this guy is drop dead gorgeous. Okay, yeah, all that is good. Okay, I cannot rule out the place of attraction. However, all that external qualities can do for you first is attraction. Attraction is okay. It is not bad. It is okay to be attracted to something that is beautiful or excellent, that catches your fancy. It is okay. Okay? But you need to know that it is attraction. Leave it there first. Attraction should not become falling head over heels. Attraction does not equal to love. Okay, it is attraction, yes, so it can bring you guys together first. It can make you want to hang out with this person. It can make you want to have an appointment with this person again and again. That's all okay. Okay, but what is more important is what you do when you now have the opportunity to communicate or interact with that person. So, while external qualities are important and are of course good, you need to know that if an enemy is going to set a trap for you, trust me, that trap is going to be disguised as something good. That trap is probably going to be decorated. It's probably going to be something that fits that fits your interest, or that speaks to your interest, so that when you see that thing, you are drawn to it, and then what happens? The trap, does the job. Okay, for those of you who used to set rat trap those days, that particular one that has that spring. That you put the bait on one side and you draw the lever on the other side, and as soon as the rat steps or gets his weight on the bait, the spring clamps in on it and that rat trap is the most original rat trap in the whole wide world. Okay, now what happened? You attracted that rat. Okay, so my point is, don't be fooled by attraction. Attraction can as well lead to destruction. Okay, so just be aware, be fully on your guard. That's one of the points I will even talk about. You can be attracted to that person, it's all right, but when you now get close and when you have the opportunity to interact, that is what will make all the difference. So look beyond everything external. All right, the third point I will say there is do a 360 degrees check. What do I mean by a 360 degrees check? Now you're attracted to that person. Now you guys are discussing. Now you're hanging out. You're going on dates. You're seeing after work. You're driving, having a drive together. You're visiting here or there. You're going to the cinema and really hanging out. Healthy hangouts, like I like to emphasize. Okay, while you're doing all of that, you need to do a 360 degrees check. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you have to evaluate the person based on three very critical areas of the human: spirit, soul, and body. What happens many times is we only evaluate body. We only evaluate, and by body, I don't just mean the person's physical body, I mean everything external. Oh, he has a good job. Oh, he drives a good car. Oh, she's really beautiful. Man, her shape. Oh my God, I can't get this out of my head. Oh, everything external. She's from a rich family. This family, they have the whole side well. Then you just start thinking of every other thing external. No, beyond all of that, also look at the spirit and the soul. And I'm going to be breaking this down as I go further in just a little bit. Okay, but the very basic way to do this 360 degrees appraisal is by conversation, is by talking. A lot of people trade their talking time for romance, and that can be very misleading, because when you start doing that, what's happening is that you are empowering your emotions. You are allowing your feelings, your emotions, those chemicals in your brains to send signals of liking and love, and you just feel like, oh, this is something special. Okay, don't trade conversation time for romance. No, you will lead yourself in trouble. Okay, rather discuss a lot, and some of the questions I shared last week are things you can even start with, because you already understand yourself that much. You can seek to understand those things about the other person. Ask him, who are you? What are your passions? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are you find out everything about them. What are their values? What do they think about life? What do they think about marriage? What do they think about family? What do they think about conflict resolution? What do they think about the place of the man in the home? What do they think about women who are working? What do they think about a woman who earns more than her husband? What do they think about everything? You need to discuss it. It's in those conversations you will start identifying critical elements that will tell you whether or not you and this person have something in common. Okay, so that's for the 360 degrees check. Right? Now, the next point number 4, is free yourself from all kinds of pressure, whether it is internal or external. Free yourself from all kinds of pressure. Sometimes it is you telling yourself, oh, I'm getting old. Oh, I don't have anybody yet. Oh, what's going to happen next year? I'll be this age. Oh my God, I'm getting close to 30. Oh my God, I'm getting close to 40. Free yourself from all that pressure. It does nothing to you, nothing good to you. Please free yourself from pressure. I said in one of the classes that your life as an individual, your fulfillment as an individual is more important to God than any other relationship, especially if the relationship is not going to take you somewhere. Okay, so focus on yourself, focus on building yourself, focus on serving God, focus on just being a blessing to people around you, focus on being a sweet-spirited human. Just give love, give happiness, give joy. Make somebody's life better. Focus on all of that. Don't be thinking of what is not working for you. Think rather of all the things that are working for you. So that will help you take care of all the internal pressures. You can actually realign your thinking. You can realign the emotions going on in your mind. You are in charge of yourself. One of these days I'll take time to break down how you can do a belief change. You can actually turn your beliefs completely around from disempowering thoughts to empowering thoughts and affirmative thoughts. Okay? Very, very important. So free yourself from all kinds of pressure, whether it's from yourself or it's from family members. Oh my God, this one can be a big deal. Family members, oh my God. You're not getting any younger. When will I see my grandchildren? That your auntie did not marry early. You self, you are pursuing career too much. Are you the one that want to take care of the home? Take it easy. The way you are going, man will not see you. You even bought a car. Don't you know that if they see you driving a car, they will think you're not ready for marriage. They will think you're just doing big girl. All manner of things. Wow. Please free yourself from pressure, because it makes you to begin to compare yourself with other people. It makes you to begin to think that something is wrong with you. It makes you to begin to think that, things are no longer working for you. Listen to me, in this race of life, you're not in competition with nobody. You are in competition only with yourself and the vision God has placed in your heart. So if there are people who give you those external pressures that you can cut yourself away from, please cut away from them. And the ones you cannot cut away from, perhaps your parents, you have to politely let them know that that this pressure is not helping. You are thinking about it, you are working on it, and the best they can do is pray for you and trust that God will bring it to pass. As a matter of fact, you can remind them of other things that God has done for you. Yes, that's really true. Family pressure is real, especially among the ladies. That's so true. You can remind them of other things that God has done for you. Okay, let them know that God is still, is still in charge of your life. He's still working out all things for your good. Okay, so just encourage them and tell them, take their attention away from worrying so that they can rather focus on gratitude and thanking God in advance for the great thing He's going to do in your life through your marriage. Okay, so please free yourself from all kinds of pressure. And take note that I said free yourself because the responsibility is yours. The onus is on you to set yourself free. Somebody say, set yourself free. Oh yeah, set yourself free. Okay, the fifth point on this, which is very, very key, is listen to and trust that inner voice in your spirit. Listen to that voice and trust it. Some people call it intuition. If you're a Christian and you understand how the Spirit of God speaks to you, that is what I'm talking about. Listen to that voice. Listen to that nudging on your spirit, especially when every other person is telling you, go, 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 go. And you just don't feel it. There's a drag on your inside. Everything looks good, but something is not vibing. You just can't place it. Don't disregard some of those signals. Do you know what those signals tell you to do? They tell you to wait. Why? Because time is the true revealer of intents. Time is the true revealer of authenticity. If this person really is in love with you, if this person really means it, time will prove it. It's not the pressure. So listen to that voice. Every other thing might look okay, but somehow by yourself that there's something, you're not feeling this thing. Don't neglect that voice. Don't neglect that voice. That's one of the ways that the Holy Spirit ministers to you. If you're a Christian, it's one of the ways the Spirit of God talks to you. He tells you, hey, this decision is not going to work out well. So just hold on. You will understand it later. Unfortunately, what many people do is they suppress that voice and they jump into that decision. The way I'm seeing this guy, I can't lose him. If I lose him now, he's going to go after my friend. No. Or maybe even you and your friend at the same time are dragging the guy. No. And you don't feel it. Hold on. Don't force yourself on anybody. When you have the go in your heart, you will know. And guess what? Even if every other person around you tells you, it's fantastic, go ahead. And deep down, you don't feel it. Please don't go ahead yet. It is your life, not theirs. It is your life. And guess what? When you take decisions like that, please be proud of your decision and own it. Don't let anybody now put you under pressure later. Like I told you, see now, the other lady that he married, he has taken her to America. What is America? You will go there, and be tired of going there. So own the decision and don't let anybody make you feel bad. Even you yourself, don't feel like you have lost something. I've heard some people say before, if I don't get married to this girl, I will not marry any other person again in my life. And I tell them, you're just being myopic. You don't even know anything. How many people have you met? How many people have you seen? You're just being myopic. And I tell some people also, when you say things like that, you're telling God that God is limited in blessing you. He's limited. His hands cannot always be outstretched towards you to help you. That's what you're saying. That God, if it's not this one, there's no other one. You can't help me in any other way. You can't send another person. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying to yourself. Oh, if I don't marry him, oh my God, I'm not going to get married again. Oh my God, he's the only one. Oh, nobody understands me like him. Hey, calm down. You will meet somebody else. You will meet someone else. Don't give any human being that place of importance where it is like your life is tied around them. No. Even in marriage, you guys are going to be complementing each other. You are not, the other person is not running your life. You're also bringing something to the table because you are valuable in yourself. Listen, it is when you keep thinking of yourself as an item, as an acquisition, that you think when you get into his life, all you have to do is sit down and receive anything that comes your way. You're not an item. You are a human. A human with vision, a human with abilities, a human with goals, a human with the same dominion mandate that God gave to the human race. The dominion mandate is for male and female. It's not just for the man, it's for you too. So as a lady, don't just relegate yourself to the background. You're not an item. You're not the last acquisition on his wish list. No, you're a human and you bring a lot of value to the table. So you need to know this. All right. Now, I'm going to take some more time to explain what I meant by the 360 degrees appraisal, or I said you have to do a 360 degrees check. Okay? And I said spirit, soul, body. Now I'm going to take some more time to break it down. I just wanted to give those 5 points so that I'll use the remaining time I have to attend to this very critical area. If you understand this thing I'm going to share with you right now, then you have just found yourselves the key to eliminating unnecessary relationship and the key to identifying the relationships that stand the chance to lead to marriage. Okay? So what you need to know is that every human being has a tripartite nature: spirit, soul, and body. It's the combination of these three that make you human, that make you alive. The fact that you're on the face of the earth walking around and doing things that you're doing is because you are human. Okay? But the real you is not the body. The real you is not the body. And that is why, in fact, understanding this can help you set yourself free from a lot of limitations. The real you is spirit. The real you is the one that was created in the image and likeness of God. Genesis 1:26-28. That is the real you. The real you is powerful. The real you has the power of the omnipotent God. The dominion mandate is on you. The real you is more powerful than you know. The real you is not your weaknesses. The real you is the spirit you. That spirit you does not die. That spirit you is alive forever. However, when that spirit is disconnected from this body by way of physical death, okay, the spirit continues in another realm, all right, which is either heaven or hell, okay, but that you lives forever. That is the real you. And that is why you cannot be distracted by taking decisions that affect the real you by considering the you that is temporal, which is the body, which is external. Okay, so the body is what we can see, but we cannot see literally the spirit and the soul. Okay, so while the spirit speaks to the real you, your spiritual essence with which you connect with your maker, with your creator, with deity, whatever you believe in. We believe in the living God, the creator of the heavens and the earth. Okay, now it's with your spirit you connect to God. Okay, with your soul is how you connect your mental faculties. Okay, it's the seat of your consciousness. It's in your soul. The soul, some people use the soul and mind together. The soul is where the seat of your consciousness is. It's the soul that makes you alive. It's when the Bible says God breathed into man and he became a living being. He became a living soul. Okay? So the spirit and soul, sometimes people use them interchangeably because both are the invisible part of you. They are the intangible part of you that gain expression through the body. Okay, so we can't see the spirit, we can't lay hold on the spirit and soul, but we can lay hold on the body. Okay, but what happens is that it is the spirit and soul that instruct the body, that determines what happens in the body. Why? Because your brain, for example, you can't see it, which is the powerhouse, which is the engine room where all of these things happen, right? Okay, it has a lot of circuits, there's a lot of current, a lot of electricity, lots of signals going on in the brain, interpreting signal from outside and giving it meaning, and administering the whole body, administering the hormones and doing all of that. Now, it is all of those workings, all right, that instruct what you do physically. I hope I didn't go too academic there. But what I'm just trying to say is that the real you is not just the body. The body is the container. The body is the vessel that makes you useful on this earth. When the spirit leaves the body is dead. Okay? Now, so I said that the soul is where the seat of your consciousness is. The soul is where your emotions reside, where your will, your intellect, your memory, all of that is in the soulish realm. Okay, and of course your body is this one that we all see. Okay, so I said that these three things are what make you human. These three, okay, the fusion of the three make you human. That is why you must evaluate anybody against these indices. They may be very good externally, but what about mentally? They may be very good mentally, but what about spiritually? Alright, so you must check all of this. And let's break it down further. When we say spiritually, okay, you're asking yourself, what is this person's faith? What does he believe in? Does he believe in God? Does she believe in God? Okay, what is the object of their faith? A lot of people believe in God, but worship him through other mediums. So, some people believe in God, but access him through African traditional religion or the worship of idols. Okay, if you are like that and the person fits your spirituality index, good and fine for both of you. But if you're a Christian, then you want to ask yourself, does he believe in God? Does he believe in Jesus? Because the Bible says that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and no one accesses the Father but by Jesus. Jesus alone is the way alone to eternal life. Does he believe in Jesus? Fundamentally, and not just, after all, I'm not a Muslim or I'm not Hindu, therefore I'm Christian. No. Does he have a personal relationship with Christ? He or she? Do they know God? Do they know Jesus? And again, it's not just, hey, I'm active in church. Come on. Anything that is attractive to you or entertaining to you, you can want to spend time there. Alright, so if you enjoy all the vibe in church, yes, you can be going to church a lot. You enjoy the music, you enjoy the people, you enjoy the pastor. This guy that read guy, man, the guy that yarn, the guy that preach. Okay, beyond all of that, is there substance? And like I said, you will find out all these things when you discuss with the person. Do you share the same spiritual values? Among the Christian faith, for example, there are still quite some variations. Okay, even if they all believe that Jesus is the Son of God, okay, but there are those who believe, for example, maybe a lady should not put on trousers, and some others are okay with a lady putting on trousers. You also need to check all of that. If you're of the folk that thinks that a lady should not put on trousers, then don't go and be asking out a girl who is putting on trousers. When she agrees, you start telling her, oh yeah, stop wearing trousers now. You're going to be causing problems. Because I know some ladies who don't even have skirts. It's trousers. That's what they've been wearing all their life. They don't have skirts. So if you now date that kind of girl and tell her, no, you can never wear trousers again in my house. And then she's wondering, hey, what are you talking about? Okay, so my point is, even around the same faith, there might be values where you differ. Okay, one person might believe in tithe and offering. Another person may not believe in tithe and offering. One person might believe that, hey, that's what they're using to steal our money, all these pastors. The other person might believe that, no, I'm giving unto God and it's not my business. It's God I'm giving to. Okay, so it's important you break down all these things. What exactly do you guys believe spiritually? Is it the same things? Do you believe in praying? Do you believe in reading the Bible? Do you believe in growing, in the Christian faith, in knowing more about God? Do you believe in going for midweek services? Do you believe in going for Sunday services? If he tells you I'm a Christian, but yet I've not gone to any church in the past 5 years, are you still comfortable? And it's not like he's streaming online. He tells you, I just stay and I just meditate. Meditate on what? You need to find all of that out. But you see, if all you're thinking of is the mansion he lives in and the beautiful car he drives and the holiday locations he has promised and perhaps, the sex is beautiful. If those are the things you're thinking of, can't you see that when it really matters most to you, you would now have problems? Okay, so that's that for spirituality. Okay, does he have a genuine commitment to growing in the things of God? Okay, you need to check all of those things. And then finally on spirituality, you need to ask yourself, how important is spirituality to me? How important is it? How important? Is it the most important item on the list, or is it just there after all? Come on, How important? Is it the most important item on your list? When you talk to any young girl or guy out there, what kind of man do you want? A God-fearing man. And I ask many of them, what do you mean by that? What exactly do you mean? What is God-fearing? You that is saying God-fearing, can you define what you mean? Do you even understand what you mean when you're saying God-fearing? What exactly does God-fearing mean? What really does it mean? So if you're among those who are in the God-fearing camp, then you probably still don't even know what exactly you're saying. Because what exactly is God-fearing? How does it translate to how the person lives his life? What are the examples you will see that you say, no, this person does not have a reverence for God. This person doesn't know God. Anybody can proclaim that he fears God or that he's a Christian. Anybody can proclaim it. I've known several cases where people deceived people into believing they were Christians just so that they could get married to them. And then when they got into the marriage, everything went back to status quo. You're wondering, but I thought you used to go to church. It's not all of that. That's why you cannot overemphasize the place of conversation. You guys have to discuss a lot. And I tell people, especially the ladies, please ask questions. When you're in a relationship, ask questions. If you say, but my man does not talk, get him to talk. It is you that will get him to talk. Men typically don't know how to share their emotions. They don't know how to generally discuss. A man typically, I'm not speaking generally, of course, there are few others who can hold you down in a conversation. There are few others who are very verbal, they just talk, and they don't know where to stop. Okay, but I'm talking about those who really don't know how to express themselves like that. Don't wait for them to gist. You take charge of all the conversations, start to finish. Get him to talk. Find out. Ask questions. And if you notice that there's an important question to you that he keeps avoiding, then that should start giving you some signals. That if this guy is not going to be able to express or answer this question, then perhaps we shouldn't take this relationship further. Okay, so it is you, the lady, who has that key responsibility to discuss. Let me tell you how some of us men, let me tell you how we generally think of a woman. You see the girl, I like this girl. Okay, let me check her out. Then you get close to her, you start discussing. You just find out, she's cool, her family is okay, she gets sense, okay, I feel marry her. Many times the guy is not even thinking of many things, so he just, he has seen body, he has seen that she's cool, she's okay, she doesn't look like she will give me stress. And in his mind, he's good to go. It is you who will probe. But for everyone who can hear me, guys and ladies alike, please, all of you, feel free to ask questions. Guys, ask a lot of questions. Find out. Ask questions. Ask about the family. When you get married, it's not just you and your wife. There's family involved. Ask about the family. Ask about the siblings. Ask about her friends, her associations. Ask questions. For goodness sake, there is a lot to talk about. Don't be moved by accent. Yeah, some people are smooth talkers. No matter what they are telling you, that's why I said earlier, trust that voice in your spirit. No matter what they're telling you, check it. Don't be moved by smooth talkers. There are people who know every nice thing to say. Hey, you just go. Wow, and you just be blown away. Oh my God, this guy, articulate. Don't be moved. Okay, so all of that, I've said a lot about spirituality. Let me move quickly to the soul and body so that we can tie this up in the next 10 minutes or so. All right, now, let's say you have evaluated the person's spirit. Soul, which is mentally. Are you guys able to connect on the same frequency? Somebody said ask about political views. All right, yeah, all of that will even come into this soulish realm, because it's here that you're going to be having the intellectual conversations. It's here that you're going to be having conversations about every other thing about life that is not faith and God. Okay, this is where this part is very key. It's very key. Do you connect mentally? Can you gist on the same frequency? In fact, I said one time, can you enjoy each other's jokes? Do you even understand each other's jokes? Can you enjoy each other's jokes? Or does one person interpret the other person's joke as insult? Can you understand each other's sarcasms? Or does one person feel like you are insulting me? Do you understand? In your conversations, how do they go? Do you look forward to gisting with this person? Is there something refreshing about the gist? What does the gist do to you afterwards? Does it leave you empowered? Does it leave you hopeful? Does it leave you excited about life? Does it leave you depressed? Does it leave you confused? Is it the kind of conversation where the person is always telling you all the bad things in the world, telling you all the breaking news, all the terrible ones, telling you, what does that conversation bring to you? I have had to cut off certain people in my life at different times when their conversation had nothing meaningful to bring to the table. It's not hard for me. I cut off. You call me, I don't pick. It's my phone. If the conversation is not meaningful, feel free to end it and take a walk. If the person doesn't bring anything to the table that stimulates your intellect, that excites you mentally, all right? If you guys cannot connect on that frequency, no need to start giving yourselves unnecessary excuses. Please, that is enough signal for you. Someone said get to know your interests. It's very key. Very key. Know what your interests are for fun. Know what your interests are for investments, financial management. Know what your interests are in entertainment, in career. Okay, this is where you discuss and know all those things. This is the soulish realm, the mental connection. This is where all of that happens. So guess what? If this person is maybe a very cool-looking guy, but when you start talking to him, he cannot even express himself in simple English, and you're someone that is very important to you, okay? What are you going to do? If you're the kind of person who always hangs out with the elitist, people, and you need a partner who can also represent like that, and then here you are talking with somebody whom you cannot confidently take out on a date or hang out with your friends, can't you see you're already setting yourself up for wahala? Because when you keep going out alone, the person is going to ask you one day, why can't you take me along in this your movement? Oh, so you think I'm not good enough to show to your friends? And then you start saying, no, it's not like that. No, save yourself all of that wahala. Okay? Now, we have talked about the spirit realm. We're talking about the soul realm now. For those of you who are just joining, we're telling you those kind of things that you can look out for in the mental, connection between you and a would-be partner. So you evaluate your interests. Do your interests align? See, this point is very, very critical, because if one person's interest, so for example, this is a real life case now. One party wants to travel abroad every vacation. The other party wants to build themselves a house, set up businesses before all of that flexing. Now, if both interests cannot find how to align, that okay, while it's important we travel abroad, I also agree that we need to get ourselves a house, and then this money we're using for those trips, we can use that to set ourselves up. Okay, so let's do it like this. Why don't we travel every other year? So 1 full year we're not traveling, we're saving up, we start our house project. Next year, okay, we set aside some funds to travel. You see, if you have those kind of conversations and you guys see where those two interests can meet, then you guys might just be, there might be hope for that relationship. But guess what? If one person says, no way, all my life I've been traveling every year, or you cannot come and stop me from me, or that's going to be wahala, because maybe uncle is thinking that, man, I need to quickly build myself a house so that before my wife even starts giving birth, the children are born in our own home, this is very key for me. Once there's a roof over our head, then I can take more risk, I can do this, I can do that. If you guys cannot agree, that alone can cause problems. And that alone will tell you a lot more about the kind of interest both parties have. What are your interests about spending? About money? If I get into this money matter, what are your interests really? So you see, it is here when you have all these conversations that you're checking out this person mentally. What is his plan for life? What are they looking at for the next 5 years? What are they looking at for the next 10 years? Okay, now it is in this place that we talk about ladies looking out for potentials in guys. Okay, it is in this kind of conversation that you can even say, what exactly are his potentials? But then I also add to it that beyond potentials, okay, what are the results he has had in his life so far? What are the patterns? What are the proofs that this person can take and make the right decisions? Okay, you need to start looking at that. What are the patterns he has set for himself? What are the patterns she has set for herself? What are the kind of decisions they've made so far? It is in conversation that you're able to bring out all of these. Somebody spoke about social life interests in the comments. Yes, religious interests. You have to examine all of these things. Can't you see there is already a lot to discuss in a relationship? There is a lot. It's not every day, hey, I'm just missing you, I want to wrap you in my arms. It's not every day, what are you wearing? If your conversation is more sexual than around matters of life, that should be a red flag for you. Because this matter of sex is not all there is to the marriage. When you get married, before long, you will be overwhelmed by other matters of life, and you will find out that sex is not all there is. And even if it is very wonderful, after the sex, what else? Because you still have to earn yourself a living, you still have to pay bills, you still have to live a fulfilled life, you still have to make impact, you still have to do a lot of things. Okay? So if all this person's conversation is tending towards romance and sex, please, that should also be a flag for you. If you're the lady, navigate the conversations properly. If he's not genuinely interested in you, he won't be able to keep up with your conversation. And that will be your signal to cut it and move on. Okay? Don't get into a relationship out of pity. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? So much for the soulish realm. And then body, I'm sure I've talked about body before, Do you feel attracted to this person? Is that key? Do I like his or her physical attributes? Okay. Now, the things I don't like about them, are they things that can be changed? If the person doesn't know how to dress, that's a small problem. You can dress the person up. You can change the person's wardrobe. You can influence the person's dress sense. Do you understand? If the person maybe lacks personal coordination, those things are learnable. You can learn. If the person isn't tidy, perhaps you can help the person out. Okay. But what are those things that you cannot what's the word now? You cannot compromise. Okay? What are those things you can't compromise? Who are his friends? Who are her friends? Who are the people they hang out with the most? It tells a lot about their values. It tells a lot about other things about the people. So, who are their friends? Who are the people they hang out with the most? Okay? You want to be checking all of that. Okay? So, if you have evaluated somebody's spirit, soul, body, and I said before that which of these matters the most to you? If the spirit and if spirituality and mental connection matters a lot to you, then you're going to have to evaluate those two above body. And as a matter of fact, those two should matter more to you than the body. Why? Because everything you can see is temporal. It's temporal. Somebody can be very beautiful today and not so beautiful tomorrow. Yes. I've seen ladies transform when they are pregnant. From a previously very charming and beautiful damsel, I can't say the other part. Things just change. The whole body swells up, the face swells up, the nose gets big, everything just changes. If all you were thinking of was that external quality, when the changes start happening, what would happen to you? Do you get that? So you must think more about the spirit and soul, the invisible qualities of that person. Those two should matter more to you. Anyone with whom you can successfully connect spiritually and mentally, you stand more chances of being in a good relationship with that person, even if physically is not up to par like that. Now let me ask you, are there not people you have not considered beautiful before until you started discussing with them? Maybe you started working together with them and you just learned some things about their intelligence, or something about their candor, or something about how graceful or how principled they are, and you just start loving those qualities. Have you ever met such people? Of course. Now, if all you were doing was looking out for external qualities, in your mind you would have disqualified that person already and not had the chance to even experience that beautiful inner spirit. Someone says Nigerian ladies don't know all of this. They want a ready-made man. Well, we'll come to that. We're going to have a session on materialism very soon, but that will be next year. Next year is just like 2 weeks away, alright? We're going to have a session on materialism and some of these challenges that people face, okay, that influence their decisions negatively. And we'll talk about this. Okay, so determine which of these, spirit, soul, body, is important to you. If you connect spiritually and mentally, you stand more chances. The physically can join. Okay. Now, don't forget what I said. Initially, you may not be attracted to somebody, but over time, that attraction can grow. Another thing you need to know about attraction is that you can actually train the mind on what to be attracted to and what not to be attracted to. You actually can. Okay. And I'm just emphasizing this because people who have exalted physical specifications above every other thing, if you don't watch it carefully, you are about to make a big mistake. I say what I want to say now authoritatively. Many of the people who have these sweet and working marriages, go and ask them. It was not their real respect they married. Find out. They found other qualities that they esteemed higher than external specifications. Some of you are thinking she must be 5'4", figure 8, Coke bottle shape, or Beyonce standard. You start thinking of all those. If that is what you are looking for, hey, a lot of people are doing plastic surgery these days, or they are doing butt enhancement and all those things. And let me tell you the truth, I have not found. Let me not make this point. It will cause too much problem. A lot of people are using a lot of enhancements. The people who do these things, if you check them out mentally, they are not there. They are not as sound. Why am I saying this authoritatively? Because the most important thing to them is their body. So the time they will use to develop their minds, they will rather use that time to focus on how they look. And when you meet people like that, who all they think about is how they look, it tells you something fundamental about their self-esteem. You see, it's back to the mental capacity. Okay? I've said so much for this, and it's about that time where I wrap it up. Okay? In all of this, I strongly recommend make physical or external attractions, let it be the least criteria, the smallest, the lowest criteria on your index list. Think more about spiritual connection. Think more about mental connection. Then physical, yes, is important, but it should not be everything. It should not hold the most importance to you. There's something the Bible says about beauty in 1 Peter chapter 3. In 3 and 4. It says your beauty, I'm quoting from the NIV, it says your beauty should not come only from outward adornment, Okay, he says, such as elaborate hairstyles and the wearing of gold and jewelry and fine clothes. But take note, these are the things that people look out for the most. External. Oh, it's fine. She's good. She's hot. Oh, this. Oh my God. Oh, I just remembered something. Back then on campus, there was this very externally beautiful lady. Excellent shape. You know, the kind of shape that cannot pass you as a guy, and you're not saying, oh my God, what's this? Whoa, no problem. One day I went to their lodge to pick up something from a colleague. I didn't even know my classmate was the lady's brother. They're staying in the same apartment. What I saw, the level of dirtiness I saw, I was embarrassed. Point is, if all you see is that good-looking, fine-looking, well-dressed individual out there, men and women alike, there are some men that don't know how to wash boxers. Let me never enter how this matters. So if you are just looking at the fine clothes you are wearing, you're on a long thing. Because when you get to meet real life, you will run. Enough of that. But what did the Bible say in 1 Peter 3:4? It says, rather, it should be that of the beauty, should be that of the inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and a quiet spirit, which is of great importance, great worth in the sight of God. That is very key. In Proverbs 31 verse 30, it says, charm is deceitful and beauty is fleeting. It can run away, it can disappear. He said, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. In other words, pay more attention to the invisible qualities of the heart than just the external. Have I completely ruled out external qualities? No, they are important, but importanter are the qualities you cannot see. I would like to stop here for today and perhaps take one or two questions. It's almost 10 o'clock. If there's any, okay, is there a question there? Big butt, cute guy with beards. What if he or she, fine, but lacks manners? Can you present such people? I mean, I think you have answered it somehow, because if you already consider that the person lacks manners, so the question is, can you tolerate somebody who lacks manners? Can you be cool with somebody who lacks manners? And like you also quoted then in Amos 3:3, if both of you cannot agree, then you cannot be in a relationship. So if the person lacks manners, do you lack manners too? Is that the value you share? If that is the same value you share, then kudos. But if it's not, then if there's any way you can get the person to learn manners, good for you. If you cannot, then look for somebody who already has manners. And don't think that you can change anybody. I tell people this a lot. Don't think you can change anybody. You are not the changer. If all the experiences they've had in life so far did not change them, please don't be in a hurry to be the changer. And even if you're going to be the changer, it's not going to be overnight. You think you just meet somebody today and change him tomorrow. It cannot happen like that. It's over time. Why? Because old habits will have to be replaced with new ones. You can't pretend away bad behavior. You can't pretend away habits. Habits are habits. They will show up by themselves. You can't pretend it away. Time will reveal it. And that's why we tell people, don't rush. Let time reveal this person's true intent. He tells you, oh, I want to get married to you. All I want is marriage. And then every day he wants to sleep with you. And then you tell him, but wait now, if you want to get married to me, let us be talking about that things. No, he wants you to come over. Come over for what now? So much for that. So, any question? If not, in another minute or so, we'll be calling it a day.